Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the newest edition of the Quarantine Concert Series. I am your host, Kabir Segal, coming to you live from Atlanta, from the dining room table of my parents' home. They're sleeping upstairs, and we're having a party right here in the dining room table. You know what we're doing by now. We have started this concert series in earnest, doing it every night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Just like taxes, this show is going to keep going. This is our religion. Every night, 10 p.m. Eastern. All the gigs have been canceled. They've been canceled. They've been postponed. They've been nixed. They've been abrogated. They've been abridged. So we have a lot of creative people who are in quarantine, who just want to get the music out. The music comes out of their soul. The music comes out of their heart. And they're playing and they're practicing. And we started this concert series to put the spotlight back on the artists, because that's where it belongs. Artists give us their beauty and their joy. And frankly, I've been missing going out and seeing amazing concerts and hanging with my friends who are great artists. So this pandemic that we're suffering through is an international emergency, and it's affecting creative people all around the world. Not just the artists, but the producers and the bookers, the engineers and the promoters. There's everyone who's touching live events. It's really affected the way of life. So that's why we started it, the Quarantine Concert Series. And this is show number 29 in, I think, in 2.5 weeks. So we've been at it. And I've turned this dining room table into a studio. I have like a professional mic here. And we have some lighting and stuff. So I want to thank the tech team, Sandra and Camilo at the front of the show, for helping set up a wonderful production with me. All right, so number 2, where can you find us streaming? Everywhere. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram Cracker. We're on Instagram TV. LinkedIn for all you vice presidents, associate vice presidents, senior marketing directors, CEOs, CTOs, CFOs, and chief media operations. This may look weird coming on LinkedIn, but this is a music series, and I want all my friends on LinkedIn to know that music is very important. So, please come 10 p.m. Eastern every night. Check us out. Check out the amazing artists, and YouTube. Subscribe so you get notified about all of these concerts. All right, how do you get on the show? Another good question we get asked a lot is, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. We have a waiting list of now 60 artists to get on the series. We really appreciate all the interest. We're trying to get through as thoughtfully and as carefully as we can. I'm trying to fit in as many shows as possible, but my parents only are asleep once a day or twice a day, so I can only do it when they're resting. So please bear with us. Thanks for your patience. All right, so those are the public service announcements. Now for the fun part of the show. I'm very excited because I've been a fan of this musician, this artist, for a long time. He is a genius. He's a virtuoso. I've listened to his record several times, and it always makes me think about how he's taken an instrument and sort of made it his own, and repurposed it with his new sound. And he's combining electronics. He's combining the music of his native country. It's really a blessing and a privilege to be able to present him tonight. I want to welcome to the broadcast the great maestro, Alí Bello. Welcome. Hola.
Thank you. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm great. Great to see you too. Great to see you. Tell me, where are you broadcasting from tonight?
I'm in Queens, Middle Village, Queens.
Middle Village, Queens. All right. How has the pandemic affected you, and have you had to cancel any gigs?
Yeah. I mean, basically everything between, March, April, May, everything is canceled. We're looking at some, events that I have in June. Still haven't canceled it, but it's still pending. And it's been a process. I don't teach that much, so it kind of like my whole living is playing out of live performances. And lately I've been just this you see here is my booth, my recording booth. So I've been doing tracks, working like from here, but yeah, it's down it. I mean, we don't know how we're gonna survive for the next few months. So
what's the biggest gig one of the biggest gigs you get canceled? I want people to know kind of the size and opportunity that Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I was going to Colombia. We play with this band, the Latin band. It's called Típica Novela. We were going to open for one of the concerts for the Barranquilla, which is in September, but this is the version that they do now. And we were playing with Aragon, mano a mano. So I mean, that's a trip that is canceled. I'm also compose and I conduct. So I'm working with the multicultural music orchestra. So I conduct and I have a piece that I was how you call it what is it, commission
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do. So I'm still pending. So that concert is canceled. So I haven't been able to get my money from that commission. The concert is, I'm conducting it too, so that's canceled. Three concerts, other two concerts. So I mean, it's big because either the little gigs at the clubs or the big gigs at the festivals or the big halls, they're all
Hmm.
canceled.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. So tell me, how are you spending your time? Are you other than tracking, are you composing? Do you have a routine to your day? Have you settled into like a day? You wake up at a certain time, make your coffee. What's the day in the life of Alí Bello look like?
It is. I wish I can say I'm all pragmatic, but no. I mean, I have two songs. They're upstairs listening to this, so they're probably laughing at me. But I got a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old, so the whole day at home is kind of balancing out. My wife's a teacher, so now she teaches every day from remotely to her classes. So during the morning and afternoon, she's with her student or these little meetings and kind of with the kids. And then kind of after 4 or 5, then I'll set up, come here to my cave, my studio, and then I start doing trying to work, finishing right now on my next album, starting the mixing. So it's kind of a good time because sit down, we'll do all the tracking and all the cleaning and stuff like that. And then I really go into late at night, 1, 2 a.m., just practicing and, trying to, doing the piece, doing some, putting the piece that was commissioned into the computer because now I need to print the parts. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a little bit, I don't try to do one task for too long because I get crazy. So 2 or 3 hours for one thing, and then I move on because if not, I cannot do a whole day of one thing.
Yeah. Well, when you're working in your cave, how do you know when dinner is ready?
No, I mean my family already knows. Like I eat when I'm hungry. Like
Okay.
they don't even wait for me. Like I go upstairs, like they already ate. They're like,
Okay.
we're not waiting for you. You like. So
Yeah.
I got my own schedule.
Mark Twain, the great writer, he would hide himself in his study, and his family would do a bullhorn to get him out of there when dinner is ready. So that's one way of getting an artist out of their cave is a bullhorn. Maybe we can do that for you down the
I need
road.
one. I need one.
What would you like to start your performance with tonight?
Sure. I would like to play this piece. It's called "On Travel." I wrote it, and it was for my first album. And this piece is kind of was composed in the idea of a tonada, Venezuelan tonada. Venezuelan tonada is a song that the cowboys, the people in the agriculture, will sing in the morning or at dawn, but they sing it to the cow to respect for a good harvest or for the cow to get a good milk. So it's kind of like a mellow song. I kind of transformed it. I made it my own. So it kind of like the idea was the piece was the opening for the album. You know, being all the things that happened to the album, it ended up being like the postlude of the album. But it kind of like it has a little lyrics that I will try to sing while I play. I had a singer, but this time it's all me. And it kind of says something about when you walk, your sorrows go away, and he who search will find like his source of the metaphors of fresh water. But he who looks for it will find it through the rocky roads. The silence will engulf you, but with the singing of the chicharras are those that thing, with
Mm-hmm.
the singing of we're talking about the plains, the Venezuelan plains and the llanos, but with the singing of the chicharras, your heart will be filled with all the things that you wanted to do and all the visions and dreams that you want to accomplish.
Cool. Let's hear it.
All right. Con el cantar se van las penas por el sendero carelado. El que buscan cumbia encuentra su manantial de agua clara. Por los caminos del llano me va robando el cielo y el cantar de la chicharra llena mi pecho en ensueño.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you.
Well done. Very moving.
Thank you.
Very moving. Very poignant. What a way to start us off. We have a couple questions coming in. One on an Instagram wants to know from Bangkok, Thailand, wants to know what kind of violin do you play?
That's a good question. This is an American violin. I have 4 or 5 different violins. This one is the particular is that I amplify. I'm playing acoustic right now, but we'll see amplified. And mostly I play a Colin Massin. It's a French violin. That's my main instrument, and I like it. It depends, but violin is like tools. Depends what you're doing. You choose the best tool for the job. Not necessarily the best violin will sound good for like electronics and vice versa. You can have a really cheap violin that actually give you a better sound because of the resonance. The resonant box will be less bright and it will have less resonance, and that will create less feedback. So you have a more clear sound. So if you get on a Stradivarius and you want to amplify, like I will do maybe for the next piece, that would be a no. You don't need the best instrument in the world, but you need an instrument that actually works with what you're doing.
Yeah. How long have you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing. I believe I started playing music when I was 5, but I started playing violin when I was 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
So
why did you gravitate towards the violin?
Yeah, I guess I was always little, and I couldn't get any other instrument. So by default, I had to have the violin because I wanted to play, I don't know, cello or trumpet, and it was like I couldn't hold it.
Yeah.
Especially 6, 7s, that just kind of weird age. So you're like you start with the violin and then you decided something else. I guess I stuck with it.
Yeah, I hear you. Cool. What would you like to play next?
Sure. I Years ago, this is a piece that I don't play often. I'm gonna play a song. It's called "Didgeridoo Dream." I um I don't know if you knew, but there was a YouTube symphony orchestra competition,
Mm-hmm.
and I won. And we were flew to Sydney to play at the concert opera for the concert, and I was one of the soloists, being on the jazz kind of mention, um, and they asked me to play. We had a reception, not a reception, but we had a concert at one of the big clubs in Sydney, and they asked me to play. So I wrote this piece for that concert, for that moment, and it was because when I was told that I won, so we want you to come to sing and play. I was kind of, but then I had a weird dream. I guess, or the excitement. I had a weird dream that night, and it kind of like it was a didgeridoo playing on the dream constantly, and it kind of like I woke up and I just needed to do something like that. So I kind of tried and transform my violin into trying to create that sound, and this is what I came up with.
Cool.
Right.
They love that one. They love that one. They love you in Atlanta, man.
Is that Atlanta audience or just all over the
Yeah,
world?
they love you. This is my hometown, baby. They love you.
I hear you.
But they are reflecting the love you're getting from around the world. All right, settle down, settle
Thank
down,
you for
settle down.
sharing.
Settle down, settle down. Watch this, ready?
Uh,
Very well trained.
Very well trained.
Awesome. Sounds amazing.
Oh,
And I've really enjoyed hearing some of your more electronic pieces recently. But I want to talk about your album that you put out a few years ago. Talk to me about why you wanted to do it and what was sort of the theme of it. What was sort of the organizing principle of the album?
yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I always consider myself a late bloomer in the world of whatever jazz, world music, or non-classical music. I was trained classical as a musician, and I had a master's degree, and I was kind of, working my way through. And it just kind of during my college years, I just got I don't know if a breakthrough or a breakdown, but it just kind of felt that I just needed to do something else. It wasn't just not enough. I just needed to express myself in a more me way instead of just being an interpreter of just playing Bach or Beethoven or Mozart or whatever. And it kind of just needed to, kind of have my own voice and it kind of. So then, I finished. I'm a master's degree in classical performance, but I'm playing charanga gigs in New York, and I'm working the scene on different styles, especially Latin American music style. So it kind of like the like my voice, how to represent the violin in like different styles and in different settings. not just Afro-Venezuelan, but kind of like in flamenco flavor with a more Latin jazz flavor, with a more New York flavor. And it kind of was like a palette of the things that I've been working for so many days, for many years. And I wanted to express this is the way I like to perform this kind of music.
Got it. Got it. Walk me through some of the songs. We don't. I hope we can put the song list in there. Can you just walk me through why did each song make it onto the final album in terms of the repertoire, like Amare, NG? Walk me through the repertoire real quick of the album.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of the song was the album was built within 3 sessions, like 3 songs were Latin jazz, like kind of like in G, mofongo. There are more like New York, like cha cha blues and a more like um, um, straight up, guaguancó. There's the Venezuelan Afro Venezuelan music, which is with the Venezuelan percussion, with the kiki plat drummings and the different drumming from the coast. I'm from Venezuela. I'm from Valencia, from the coast. So we got kiti plats and we got curvapullas and we got different colors. And we have also a little bit of the flamenco flavor. I work tightly and I work a lot with Pedro Cortez, one of the main guitarists flamencos in here. And I started playing with him. Like he liked my music and he liked my playing, and he invited me and I started learning the style with him. And it's amazing, flamenco. I mean, I don't need to express any words of greatness about the style. So, but it kind of like it was kind of like a collaboration of some of the the 2 pieces I played with him in the album. So it kind of, like I said, it's like a little palette of different colors and flavors that spreads out during the album, and that's how he got it. Each song represents kind of like I didn't go for like a main idea which developed into within a group combo, like a quartet, and when we play 10 songs. No, I mean, it kind of like each song, it kind of takes us to a different place, a different color. The violin will be have like wah, and we'll have like different effects, or it will be acoustic, or it will be just guitar and violin, will be piano and violin, or we just it just kind of works through it. So each
Yeah, I hear you. Great. I encourage everyone to check it out. Go to Alí Bello's website, alibello.com, to check it out. You can buy it there, a link to it. Fantastic release, and something I encourage you all to listen to and stream online at Spotify, all the streaming platforms. Well worth a listen. So please check out Ali's beautiful album. Of course, what would you like to play next?
Well, I would like to, since you touched that, John, that I would like to play Amare, which is on the album. Is This song was my son names is Amare, so it was kind of dedicated to him. He was just born, or he was just in the womb, and when I wrote this song, and it kind of is like a dichotomy of the Venezuelan rhythm with the percussion, and it kind of like the more New York kind of style jazz, but it kind of just not trying to be folkloric, but trying to be just, like I said, just my own expression of what I think my music will like sound. So for this one, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. That's the only thing about playing a melodic instrument. I don't have harmony, so I have to create my own. But for this one, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna use the track, and it's short in it. It's not as long as the God, but here we go. So this is Amare. Ah, ah. It's funny. I'm not used to playing with a track. I'm playing with a musician, so I made just this for this concert. Thank you. But
Let me know when it gets uncomfortable.
oh, now I hear it. I wasn't hearing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't hearing the pause.
I wanted to just psych you out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You have to keep bowing, man. The audience wants.
Thank you. I apologize for the cough. I've been having a my throat just sore from.
That was that was actually one of the questions on Instagram. What they want to know what the great Alí Bello is drinking right now.
It's just tea. I was gonna put some rum in it, but I decided not to.
Herbal tea.
Herbal tea, yeah.
Got it. Tell me about you just talked about playing with musicians. Who's usually in your band?
Yeah, well, I created this band. I call it the Sweetwire Band. And your next question is gonna be why the Sweetwire Band, right? The name. Everybody always asks me. Well, I just started playing, and really my break through the world of non-classical music was through this band, Los Jóvenes del Barrio. It's a great band. Not because I play it, but it really, Johnny Almendra, Los Jóvenes del Barrio in the late 90s, 2000 years. It's a great band. But when you play Latin music, especially when you play charanga, you play a good solo, they yell at you and they say, sweet wire, alambre dulce, alambre wire, and sweet. So because when you play your melodies, it's called alambre dulce, so the sweet melodies. So it kind of like, well, I gotta use that. I mean, nobody uses it, so I kind of thought that would be a perfect name for a Sweetwire band. And in the band is that I've been working a lot with Gabriel Chakar, he pianist, keyboardist, great guy. He has a new album coming up. Please check it out. My bass player has always been Bamban Rodriguez, so also Alvaro Benavides.
I love Bam.
Yeah.
He plays with Arturo O'Farrell.
Yeah, and the drummer, Ismael Baez, and that's the core quartet. And we've been using a lot of Venezuelan percussion with Neil Ochoa, Manuel Marquez, so it kind of goes around Jeremy Smith, sorry. So it kind of, but the core is being that quartet, we kind of, I try to keep it together, but life in as a musician in New York, it's just, everybody's playing with everybody, so we try to keep it.
Yeah. Are you still playing with Liaison, your band Liaison?
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of like the first concept I had of Latin music. I was doing like a straight like Latin jazz. It wasn't so much like Venezuelan influence. And we play, it's still doing some gigs. I kind of I kind of move on, and now I name it the Latin Mayhem. Kind of just, and that's my next project. I want to kind of do like a progressive Latin jazz, kind of just pushing a little bit the boundaries that people like Tito Puente and all those guys brought in the Latin jazz. I'm not talking about just the salsa, but the Latin jazz. Just bring it an extra notch, and I kind of want to work out with that new concept of hopefully that will be the next one.
Yeah. Tell me about you talked about Venezuela. I want people to know about what is El Sistema and how did that play a significant influence in your life?
Sure. I mean, I basically could say I would not be here playing the violin if it was not for El Sistema. El Sistema is a system, as it says, being redundant, but it kind of brings music education to lower incomes communities. And not just lower income communities, but in general, it's like communities all around, especially in Caracas, and then it grew up to the whole entire Venezuela, and then it grew up to the whole entire world. But it kind of was the purpose of this conservatories, as we call it. It was to, you were given a free education, or very, very cheap. You were given an instrument, and you were given instructions, and you will have orchestra training. And it was very important. I think Jose Antonio Brea, which is, one of a godfather for me. I studied conducting over there, and he was always very supportive of the orchestra, the conservatory where I come from, and his main idea was to break social barriers through music. When you have to play music, and not just you, but in a group, in an orchestra, you need to harmonize with everybody. You need to play together, and all the differences between racism, social status, everything really goes down the drain, because this is just you and me playing music.
Yeah.
And it has that bond that, believe it or not, I mean, my best friends are from my music from the conservatory where I come from, and it is really a powerful movement. And I think that the Sistema has grown and he becomes so internationally because um, he brought not just the students but the parents, and it was a driven community that especially being from Venezuela, third world country. uh, there's not that many things you can do. You mean you can do sports, you can do arts and stuff like that, but the orchestra was a community that keeps you together, and then you have training every day, you have friends, and you have a community that grow together. And people that runs the nuclear is the same parents.
Right.
So they will take care of you not just as a student but really as a child of the community. This is a community that's growing together in the same neighborhood. So it is very important. I mean, I think that's what the successful, why I've been so successful, and why it's trying to be replicated in so many parts of the world.
Yeah, I'm always amazed, and the Venezuelans that I know in New York are all so talented, and I wonder how many of them went through El Sistema. Probably a large portion of them.
A very large portion, yeah. I mean, not everybody, but a very large portion. And yeah, I mean, Venezuela. And
Which Venezuelans that you play with are also sort of members of El Sistema?
Well, in many ways, I think Bamban come from a Sistema. Every violinist, I think that is here.
Was Cesar Orozco? I know he's a Venezuelan Cuban. Did he go through El Sistema? I forgot to ask him that.
That's a good question.
Because he plays violin too.
Yeah, he used to play, but his wife did, Samira.
Yeah.
So he has to be in the Sistema. I never talked about it, but he has to be, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And either if you're not really indirect, in some indirect way, you're in it because you're playing with other musicians that are. So even if you're not really a Sistema, it just really takes over. It's very, very few, private institutions there are that they run their own system, but at the same time, they're between the music world is not. Is very big, but at the same time, it's very small. We all know each other and we all work with each other.
Sure. Thanks for that, for sharing that. I think it's so important for people to know about the program because everyone knows the music, and it's nice to know sort of the common link and the common education that is one of the sources of it. What would you like to play next?
Sure. I've been working on my next album, which is basically done. It's trying. We do it right now in the quarantine mixing, I call it.
Yeah.
So working with the engineer right now, finishing basically the tracking is also only, and I wanted to play this song from the new album. It hasn't been recorded yet. We played it live, but we never recorded it. This is a song I dedicate to my mom, Son Tu Marina. I wrote this song before a couple years ago, but my mother passed away last year. She had cancer, so it kind of now it's more important to me for this song.
Totally. And my condolences. Our condolences. Yeah.
I appreciate it. So yeah, this is called Son Tu Marina. Hopefully it's in the next album. Hopefully we're coming out. Trying to see if this year. With this pandemic, you never know what's going to happen. But it's very, very soon, very soon. So look at it. It's a very, this album, as different from the first album, is going to be more Afro-Venezuelan driven. And mostly, there are 9 songs that are all original, and they are with a sense of Latin American, Venezuela, Afro-Venezuelan. So this is a bolero. And check it out, the recording. I have Regina Carter, the violinist. She plays a duet with me in this song.
Awesome.
So she recorded this song. And it kind of, in this sense, this is a dialogue between my mom and I. And so in the recording will be better. If this time I'm just going to play by myself.
Yeah.
So I try to do a best job for that. So this is called Son Tu Marina.
Awesome. Awesome. So good. Beautiful, beautiful, Ali. Uh, we
Excellent.
we have time for, I think, for one more, if we can squeeze, like, if you can do a 4 or 5 minute version of your next one for
Sure.
one final piece.
Let's see. I wanted to when the fin de fiesta is in España, but in Spain, but fin de fiesta for Venezuelans, we always play a joropo or pajarillo. So
Let's
I would
hear
like
it.
to do a rendition of pajarillo.
Awesome.
All right. Let's see. But this is my own pajarillo. All right. So 5 minute one. Okay. Okay.
Let's 4 minute one.
Okay. So I gotta clear everything out. All right.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, so good.
Thank you. And I would say, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation to be part of the concert. You really,
Hold on. We're still applauding you, man. Let me know when it gets uncomfortably long.
uh,
That's what I thought.
it's never uncomfortable.
You're used to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Hey, man, thank you for joining us.
No.
Beautiful playing. Everyone check out alibello.com. Incredible composer, conceptual artist. His last album was awesome. This next one's going to be amazing. And subscribe to him on Spotify. Buy the album, and see him live when the world resumes. Make sure to make a date and see him live because he's even better in person. So check him out. I do want to do two little shout outs. One shout out first to the incredible sound engineering team that works on each of these productions with me, Sandra and Camilo. They are mixing and mastering engineers. Check out their website. If you're an artist, engineer, just work with them. They're open for business, and they're some of the top professionals I've ever worked with. Very humble, kind, generous, magnanimous, good-looking, and hygienic people I've ever come across. So just check them out. Really nice people. Ask for the Oreo and Maui discount because those are the names of their dogs, and they'll hook you up with a good discount. Lastly, I want to end with some kind of somber news tonight. Just got word that the great singer-songwriter John Prine, he just passed away from coronavirus. He was hospitalized for 7 days, I think 9 days, and died at age 73 from the complications of the virus. So, this pandemic is affecting our music community very, very, much. And this is just a few months since he won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Grammys. So, it's affecting us. We got to stay with each other and keep the music going. And our thoughts and prayers and our condolences to the family of the great singer songwriter. So, with that, stay strong, stay safe, stay safe. See you tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much for joining, and be well. Bye bye.
Thank you for having me.